So welcome everybody to Forza Horizon 4. This is just a quick video to say that I now have this game and every other Xbox game on the new Xbox Series X, and yeah, just go through a quick few things that this game has had improved because it's now on this newer and far better console than the Xbox One X or the Xbox One. And yeah, one of the big improvements has been loading times. A lot of loading times on this game were awful in a lot of ways, especially in terms of loading the game from the start. It took about, I timed it on the Xbox One X, it took about 2 minutes 26 seconds to load up, which isn't the worst. I've certainly had games that have been far slower than that in terms of loading up, but with this new console, got it in under 1 minute 30, so yeah, a good minute or so's time saved on that. And it's also saved us on time on doing everything else. So just by getting in a car, getting it delivered to you, is done in no time at all really. That took a lot longer on the older console than it does now. And yeah, that's not necessarily going to improve things for you guys, because there's not often when I'm doing a video where I am in a loading screen. But in terms of improving how quick it will take me to get a video out or anything like that, it will obviously help me. And but there are obviously some videos where there is a loading screen, and that will improve greatly. Just doing those seasonal championships, for instance, has loading screens in them. When I'm going in from picking a car to then going into the race, there is obviously a loading time in that, and I'm pretty sure they're going to be quicker. And yeah, also getting into the festival in terms of going into the garage as well has also greatly improved. As you now see, there we go, instantly done it. It's so quick, it's unbelievable. Even just flicking through menus and flicking through, going through the car list and everything like that has just been so greatly improved. It's ridiculous. Everything has practically been halved in terms of the time that it takes to get everything loaded up. And yeah, the only thing that hasn't massively improved is taking photos. For some reason they still take a long time to process. It's a little bit quicker, a few seconds maybe, but nowhere near as big of an improvement as everything else has been, which is a bit of a shame because I would have liked that to have been far quicker. But yeah, everything else has been greatly improved. Unfortunately, because I only have a 1080p 60 frames per second game capture card, even with the new game capture card that I have got, so I now have the Elgato HD 60 Plus S Plus even, but because my TV is a 4K TV running at 60 FPS, and that game capture card only records in 4K at 30 FPS, it's not really compatible to do any of that. But it does mean I can now finally play games on this console, on this TV, and on the new console in 4K at 60 FPS, which I haven't been able to do until now, because the new game capture card has a 4K 60 FPS pass-through. So that means I can play games in that resolution and that frame rate, but can't unfortunately record in that resolution and that frame rate. Can still get 60 FPS obviously, but only at 1080p. But whether or not we're going to see any better graphics with this console via going 1080p 60 FPS, we'll have to see. So I'm not sure if you're going to see an improvement in that regard for you guys, but the FPS isn't going to drop now at all in any game. I know it has done in some games before, either ones I've recorded or played on my own on the Xbox One X, but yeah, it's highly unlikely you're going to get any frame drops now with this new console. So that should at least smooth out any of those issues on any future games that we'll be playing. And yeah, it's just a cracking console in a lot of ways as well. Obviously we can switch between games on the fly, which I can't do right now because I only got this installed at the moment. A lot of games are obviously big and they take a long time to download, but yeah, that's also something that we could possibly look into as well, because there are obviously cars on this game that are on Forza Motorsport 7 and vice versa. And if we want to do like a versus series where we look at two different cars but that are similar in a lot of ways, then yeah, we could obviously switch between the two games on the fly and yeah, do things that way, or even possibly look at cars on this game in terms of the open world aspect, and then see what they're like out on a track if they're also on Forza Motorsport 7. So yeah, it does open up a lot of possibilities, but the big one is the loading times, which, like I said, are so much better. And yeah, that's really great to see. Yeah, and it's obviously going to be worth more than that in a lot of other ways in future, but that's the instantaneous advantage to getting this new console. So yeah, hope you guys, if you have one already, are enjoying it as well. And yeah, if you haven't got one already and you can afford it, then I highly recommend getting one, because yeah, so many games have been improved for this console. They've either been optimized for it, or they're just going to get a boost in terms of loading times anyway. And then we've also got, even now, we've got a couple of games that are only exclusive to this console, that if you look in the Xbox Game Store, you'll see that they say aren't compatible for this device if you're on the Xbox One or One X. So yeah, it's a great console, and yeah, really look forward to seeing what else we can do with it in the future. But nonetheless, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.